Today our topic is Introduction to Forms. So when you open your application, the first thing you see is the form, and it has the default name as Form 1. Visual Basic Form is a container for all the controls that make up the user interface. So every window you see in a running visual application is a form, and every form is having a title bar in which the form caption is displayed. And there are three buttons here: the minimize button, maximize button, and the close button. And correspondingly you can see the properties of the form here, and you can change the size of the form by dragging by dragging and here also you can see the forms. Like suppose when you run your application, you can set the Windows state, that is normal is this the fixed Windows state. Minimize is just like we minimize our application. You can, when you first execute your form, you can put it in minimize state also. And maximize is the full Windows state. And the same way we have the name for the form. So the default name is Form 1. You can change it according to your convenience, but it should follow the naming convention, like my first form. Okay. And another useful properties of the forms are like auto scroll. Auto scroll is when your screen is very large and it cannot be displayed in one screen, then when we put this property to true, scroll bar will automatically appear. And back color is the background color of the form. So you can change the color of the background by selecting from the color palettes. Here, this is cyan, aqua, dark violet, any color you can choose from the palette. And here also, instead of the color, you can put the background image also. So from their list of resource, you can just uh, select pictures. Like suppose import local resource. Here pictures, we have these pictures, and just open it and change the background color. And this is the font. Default font size is Microsoft Sans. Font style is Microsoft Sans Serif, and size is 8 regular. You can change it accordingly, and the font display in the form will change. And the font color also you can change. Let us just take a label so that we can easily understand these two properties. This one is the label. So when we change the we'll click the form, and when we change the font size, it will change accordingly. The same way the font color also can be changed to maroon or any other thing. And we have icon also here. This one is the icon, so we can change this icon also. And another important thing is enable. Here enable is true. If true, It allows the form to respond to mouse and keyboard events, and if it is false, it will disable the form. And the height, the dimension of the form can also be changed. So here we have size, here size. So the width and height can be changed accordingly. And we have here form 1 is displayed here. If we want to display another text, we'll just change this text. This is my first form, and here it will change it accordingly. So these are some of the properties of the form. You can use it, you can change it accordingly. And let us move to the events. Here form is having a number of events, but when we say events, uh, you might visualize Visual Studio Project as a series of procedures that execute in a sequence. So in reality, most programming VB are event driven. What is event driven? It means the flow of execution is determined by external occurrence called events. So unlike programming language C++, it executes line by line, but in Visual Basic it executes according to the uh, external events. So an event is a signal that informs an application that something important has occurred. So accordingly, and the corresponding code will be executed or triggered. So let us see some of the form events. Events can be seen when we go to the code editor. So when we double click, we will go to the code editor. As we already mentioned, here we have the load events, and we can see a list of events from this drop down menu. We'll just click here, and these are all the events of the form. Like we have the activate events, back color change events, click events, double click events, and drag events, for color change events, double click events, got focus events, key press events. All of these are the important events of Windows Form. To understand it better, let us see a simple example of these form events. Here I have yes, I have an example coding. Here I have my form, and in my form I have two label. The first one is welcome to my first application. It is just a normal label. So, and here we have the second label, label 2. In this label 2 we have form events. So whenever some events occur, this text will change accordingly. Suppose if I click on the form, then here it will the text will change as form click events, and if I double click it, it will change double click events, and if I press some key in the keyboard, it will also change form key press event, something like that. So uh, and accordingly, whenever I perform an events, the background of the forms will change it. It is a very simple code. So we'll just move on to the code. Here the first thing is form load events. Form load events is the first event which is uh, which occurs when the form is displayed for the first time. So this is the first events which is called. So when we run the program, a message box will appear, which which display welcome to my application. And our label, which I have already mentioned, this label 2 is will change to form load events is triggered. And and so this is the first event. And when I click the form, uh, form click events will be triggered. So our label 2 will change into form click event is triggered, and the back color will change to dark green. And when I double clicked it, then form double click events is triggered. This text will be displayed, and the back color will change to pink. And key press events occurs when a key is pressed while the form has focus. So when I press the key, as soon as I press the key, this key press event will trigger. And this key up events is whenever I release the key. I mean, I pressed it, and when I release it, when the key is up, then form key up events will be triggered, and the color will change it to yellow. So let us see this program. Let us run this program in order to know this event function clearly. So I run it. This code will be executed. Message box.show welcome to my application. See, this is a message box, and it display welcome to my application, and our label will change it to form load event is triggered. Here, form load event is triggered. And now I will click on this form. So I click on this form, and the color changes to green, and form click event is triggered is display. Then again I'll double click it. See, I double clicked it, and form double click event is triggered is displayed, and the background color is changed to pink. And now I'm going to press the key. I'm not going to release, I'll press it. See, as soon as I press the key, form key press event is triggered, and the color is again changed. And now I'm going to release what I press. Now form key up event is triggered, and the color is changed into yellow. So these are the events in the form. So uh, you can play with these events, like you can change it the code, you can change the code, you can change the font size also, you can change the font color also, and you can do any function according to the yes, you can change this coding. You can put some mathematical function also, you can make it to perform some task also. So depending upon what you need, you can change the code very easily. So you don't need to type all these codes. It will be system generated. So you can also type, but there is like here, like private sub form 1 underscore click, something like that. You can type it, but the code is too long, and there can be some typing mistake also. So the best thing is you don't need to type, you just select it from this function. uh, so what you have to keep in mind is that here you have to select that form, and here you have to select the events. So that is all for the introduction to forms. Thank you.